if this thing. Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for another AEW Dynamite review. I am joined, as always, by Tony Barbosa. A very exciting after pay-per-view show to set up the next feuds. A lot of surprises, for sure. So let's go through them right now. Tony, are you ready?
Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, so Dynamite on Wednesday starts off with an Omega promo. Now, for those who don't know, Omega is significantly hurt and has been working hurt for most of his title run.
The shoulder, primarily the shoulder injury.
Yeah, he has a shoulder injury that is connected to his neck and is causing vertigo, which is causing the ring to spin. So the fact that he's had any kind of match at all, let alone the great matches he's had, is a testament to how great a wrestler he is. He will always be disrespected by old school wrestling people for his size and his style, but he's one of the best wrestlers in the world and has been for about a decade. So I respect him a lot, especially his heel run as champion, because I was skeptical at first that he could become a good heel, but he did become a very good heel and set up the storyline nicely for Hangman to eventually take the title.
100%.
This interview, if you listened very, very closely, it was very interesting. If you've noticed, Adam Cole has brought in Bobby Fish, and they're starting to rekindle their friendship. Now, that wasn't included in this, but you'll notice that Omega did his speech. He congratulated Hangman Page, and then he said, well, I'm going to need someone to hold the fort while I'm gone. Yeah. Right away, Adam Cole jumps up and says, I'm going to just take over. And
I got this.
And Omega just pauses and says, I was talking to the Bucks, which was great because it sets up what's obviously going to happen in the future, not too soon, but in the future, a split between Omega and Adam Cole, where Adam Cole will become a massive babyface.
I think it's the other way around.
You think Omega's going to be a face?
Yeah.
Well, when he comes back, he'll be cheered. That's for sure.
The way the promo was set up, it's like he was a face, as opposed to Adam Cole. Just because the way it was handled, because Omega says, the Bucks handle it, and I think eventually the Bucks, I think the Super Click, I should say the Elite, will turn face, and then, like you said, when Kyle O'Reilly, I think Kyle O'Reilly will leave NXT,
right?
When he does enter AEW, because it looks that way.
Yeah.
I think we will see eventually the Undisputed Era, but obviously not using the name, but we will see them in AEW.
Having said that, my interest would be then, where does Kevin Steen fit in all this, as Kenny Omega has made it obvious to a lot of people that watch his Twitter account that Steen will likely be coming as well in January. And where does he join a group, or is he on his own? That's something that will also interest me with what they do with the group. So yes, the Super Click will need another rival. They don't have one right now because the Luchasaurus thing is pretty much done, especially when we get to Rampage. And they're going to have to do something with that group, as they don't want them to get stale without Kenny Omega. So I thought it was a good tease. I believe it'll lead to Adam Cole being a face because of how the crowd reacts to him. And it doesn't make sense for Kenny to turn face, or the Young Bucks to turn face again when they've already been faces. Whereas Adam Cole hasn't been a face yet, and the crowd wants him to be a face. So we'll see where that goes. Like I said, there was a lot of things that can go a lot of different directions on this show, and this was only one of them. Right.
Which is great, which it keeps you watching. That's what makes things so interesting in AEW as compared to the other company.
Yeah.
Because the other company is like,
it's predictable.
It's predictable. That's why this AEW right now, that's why it's so hot, because it's so unpredictable. You don't know where they're going. They keep you guessing in which direction they're gonna go. So that's why it's amazing.
Yeah. So this started off a very if you're a wrestling fan, just a very interesting show of where they're going to take things. So now we get to the introduction of the new champ. Now, the Dark Order looks like they're going to be hanging around to be Hangman's fodder, so to speak, because you can't have Hangman and Daniel Bryan right away. You have to wait for a pay-per-view. That's a big match. Or till Winter is Coming in December. So they come out and introduce the champ. Now, the cowboy shit chants were immediate. Good ovation for Hangman. There are
obviously in his hometown. Yeah.
Yep, he's in his hometown. You know, he basically stated that we're going to celebrate Cowboy Shit Day. But immediately upon entering the ring and starting that chant, here comes Daniel.
Well, he kind of made the speech. He goes, thank you guys, and the chants that the crowd started chanting, "You deserve it." But he said, no. Sorry, guys, I earned it.
Yes.
And then the crowd says to the chanting, you earned it. You earned it. And then he goes, but now, things get tougher, and I have my next opponent, which was Bryan Danielson, which all of a sudden he comes out.
There's a lot of speculation about if Adam Page is the right guy to have the title. Will it move the needle? I think you really got to go with him and let it take its time and rise up. Obviously, Adam Page doesn't have the name value of prior champions, but this is the perfect opportunity to take a young guy or a new guy, not a young guy, but a new guy to the audience and to AEW, one of their original guys, and rise him up and see if he can get to that level. I'm not sure if the Dark Order is the right group to get him there, but I understand why they did it when you see Bryan come out. Now, when we were doing the preview for this show, before Moxley had his issues, we all thought Moxley was going to win and turn heel. And when he got sick, they put Miro in, and we thought, okay, Miro's going to win because he's a heel and is a perfect opponent for Hangman to start his title run. But they went with Bryan, who's undefeated, who has the name value, and who is the best wrestler in the world today. I was wrong. I'll be the first person to say I was wrong. Bryan is the perfect opponent for Hangman to establish himself as champion, because I got news for people out there. He's not losing the title in his first title defense, guys. This is not WWE. So how do you make this match, and how do you make it so that Bryan doesn't look bad and Hangman looks good? Well, Bryan, I want people to understand, when I say Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world, I don't mean just in the ring. I mean outside the ring. I mean, he's not the greatest. He's not the Rock on the mic, but he's excellent on the mic for his character. He plays a badass fighter as a character on the mic. He knows when to get fired up. And when he tells a story, it is a thing of beauty, because this entire segment was the Bryan Danielson show. And apologies to Hangman. I know this was about his title celebration, but this segment was the Bryan Danielson show. He comes out, and the first thing he says, this is such a perfect line. He comes out, he congratulates Hangman Page, and the first thing he says.
But then he congratulated him in a condescending way. As soon as I heard, I was like, oh my God, here we go. Here we go.
Shakes his hand, turns around, and you just see the look on his face, and it's like, oh, I know something's coming here.
Yeah.
He says, I'm disappointed and surprised that it's not Omega standing across from me.
Oh my God.
Immediately making it to most of the audience who is not sure about Hangman say, yeah, this is not the guy. Why am I facing this guy? Omega's way better than him. What happened? But to Hangman's credit, he came right back and said, I just kicked Omega's ass. That's why he's not here. And I did it in less than 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So immediately,
what a burn.
Just throwing Bryan under the bus. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, is Bryan going to turn heel? Now, this is the same thing CM Punk did with Eddie Kingston. Bryan's still a face. He's still loved, but he's showing you the heel side of himself. He will not be booed in this match, although he's trying to get booed. And you'll see as we go forward why that is. Immediately after Hangman says this, there's a cowboy shit chant. Bryan then totally tries to heal himself by mentioning WrestleMania. Yeah. Just totally. He basically says, after I won the title, I was defending the title the next night after WrestleMania, which is a fact. That's exactly what he did, because if you recall, Triple H and Stephanie hated that he was champion and made him fight that night.
Yes.
Immediately,
Well, he fought
booze
Triple H
immediately,
that night.
like total booze immediately. As soon as they mentioned the other company, totally healed himself to a large section of the crowd.
He's
Brian
so good.
starts smiling right
He's
away
so
because he
good.
knows he's got the crowd right away. He knows, even though some people still like me, I've got this crowd. They're going to boo me. He's totally playing heel. He does a great tease for the future of the match, but then basically says, well, since you all are out here, I'm going to take you one by one and I'm going to kick all your heads in, which baby faced him to me because I want Brian to destroy all these Dark Order guys. So to me, he's a baby face, and to everybody else, he's a heel because there's a lot of sentimental value with the Dark Order team based on the John Huber stuff. And I'm willing to bet, I don't know if they'll go this far, but they're doing something with that kid. When Brian goes through all these guys, if they really want to heal him, he'll do something to that 10-year-old kid of John Huber's. But I don't think they're going to go that far.
No, I don't think they'll go
that
far.
He's trying to heal himself for this match because they don't want two baby faces, which is what my problem was with Brian winning the match. It's like you can't have two massive baby faces in a big title match for his first title match, right?
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either. No.
When he won the match, sorry, when
Brian won the match.
Miro, I didn't see him. Honestly, that was the last thing for my mind, him turning heel. But man, it makes the perfect sense for him to turn. When he turned heel, I was like, oh my God, this is so great.
This was a masterpiece, guys.
Okay, like, if you guys ever watched the early ROH days, this is what Bryan Danielson was. This who he was in ROH.
Badass heel.
A badass heel.
Yep.
Like kicking everybody. Oh my God. Like this guy is the best wrestler right now, bar professional wrestler.
And what we're talking about is wrestler. All round. We're talking about all round. He's the best right now. Roman Reigns is right up there with him, but to me, Brian has it all. Roman doesn't have the wrestling part. I'm sorry, guys.
You can switch heel and face in an instant. He knows how to do it. This psychology is amazing.
And guys,
that guy is so amazing.
It's not even over yet. Like, we're only giving you the talking part because this story is not over yet. Because right after this segment ends, because basically what happens is Brian and him have punch each other in the face. They have the Dark Order splitting them up. Brian basically yells at him, "You can come after me, but you're afraid," and they just do a little separation.
And then such a heel little move.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Hangman starts to obviously runs towards him to get, and he just basically just runs out of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
With the biggest smirk on his face, like a cocky smirk.
God.
Basically, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are playing the exact same character right now. Different styles, but when we get to the CM Punk segment, you'll understand exactly what I'm trying to say. The smirk on Bryan's but the smirk on Bryan's face, and then later on when you see what Punk does in his segment, two different things, but very similar. But we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
They come back for the commercial break, and this is why I say the story's not over. And this is like the best 10-minute heel turn you're ever gonna see in your life, because then Evil Uno and him are scheduled to fight. Right away from the break, they come out. This match was so good to turn this guy heel. Right away,
and Evil Uno just made it even better. Like the way his psychology was, like him himself pumping up, making it seem like he was a good face. And then just Brian
Uno basically stares off at him, and they look at each other. Brian's just looking at him like, who's this guy? Why am I fighting this loser, basically? Right? Because I'm above this guy. One of the best parts of the match right away, they do a little slapping. Brian slaps him in the face. Uno comes back and chops him, and Brian just looks at him like, that you're gonna chop me? And open hand palm slaps him in the face, knocks his ass down, and gives him a nasty kick to knock him over again, basically saying, I can hit harder than you. You're not in my level.
Such good selling.
And we'll immediately get a heel reaction from the crowd. This continued. He puts him into the corner. Evil Uno tries to chop him. Brian looks at him again and says, that's all you got? Chops Evil Uno. Uno sells it like he got killed. Gets another kick where he gets knocked over. Brian then throws him out of the ring and basically looks at the crowd and says, this is what you're going to give to me now. So this is the beginning of Bryan basically going through everybody. What else did I write? Bryan did the jumping knee again, one of my favorite moves from the apron. There was a goddamn. This is how good Bryan was before this match and during the match. The crowd started chanting for Uno. That is a masterpiece. That's all Bryan, guys. The fact that Uno got cheered, a guy who never
100%.
gets cheered, chanted. This was the Bryan Danielson show. He got Uno chanted because he played such a great heel in this match. He got Uno chanted over him. Like, masterpiece by Daniel Bryan here.
And his character is like a condescending prick.
Very similar to CM Punk.
Yeah.
Very
it's
similar.
Such a condescending prick, and he does it so well. It's just the mannerisms, the way he
and the
does
thing
it,
is, guys,
is so, oh my God.
Whether we like it or not, people look at Daniel Bryan and CM Punk as WWE guys. I don't look at them that way, but a large majority of the audience, and I've seen on all the AEW sites, and I frequent them quite a bit, a lot of people think they're WWE guys, including Miro. And because of that, now Punk and Bryan are basically using that and saying, okay, you think we're from the other company, you don't like that we're getting this many wins, you can boo us if you want, but we're going to act like cocky heels that are winning all our matches, and we're going to use the audience WWE reaction to our advantage. That's what happened in this match.
These guys, both of these guys, like him and Punk, listen, him and Punk it's not their WWE character.
No,
guys.
it's not at all.
Not even close.
This is their ROH character, guys.
These are the ROH,
yes.
their ROH characters.
Yeah,
like
before WWE.
The American Dragon, this character, this condescending prick character.
Yeah.
If you got to watch ROH, like you guys can YouTube it, ROH, American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and watch it when he was a heel. Oh my goodness, this is exactly what he's doing. And Punk is the same way. Punk is the same type of character from his ROH days. So
I know this is taking a while, guys. Yep, I know this is taking a while, guys. But look, it's still not over yet, because then Bryan puts Uno in the corner and starts doing his kicks, and we get a no chant. In a matter of 20 minutes, Bryan completely turned this crowd on him, and they're starting to chant no. This was so good. If you didn't pay attention to this match, like, just pay attention to everything Bryan did in this match and understand how great it was. If the match wasn't much of anything other than Bryan putting on a psychological show, like a psychology class, like, it was just great. I enjoyed this so much, guys.
And then for the win is just basically get the stomping gimmick to his
head. And they did the no chant again during the stomping.
And then just
he puts Uno to sleep with the go-go plata.
In the go-go plata, exactly. And a triangle sleep, and just done. And
then after the match, guys, like Bryan, if I could give, you know how they give star ratings? I know Dave Meltzer's out there gives star ratings. If I was giving a star rating to this match, it would get over 5 stars. The segment and the match together it's the best thing I've seen on television in a long, long time. Like, he basically does a promo and says, so since all basically, because he knows the crowd doesn't like him right now, so he goes, you know what I'm gonna do? Since Hangman's, I think he said Hangman's afraid of me, or since this match is not gonna happen for a while, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each and every member of the Dark Order, I'm gonna kick their head in.
Kick him in the Right?
He says, I'm gonna kick all their head, and the first guy I'm gonna do it to it is the guy who's from Chicago, who hasn't been in the ring for how many months. Okay, but because it's his hometown, I'm going to kick Colt Cabana's ass. Another great heel move. He's going to get booed in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
This is a perfect setup for next week. Daniel Bryan established himself almost too good as the best wrestler in the world in this company. He turned himself heel in 20 minutes. This was a masterpiece from Daniel Bryan. And I almost feel bad for Hangman Page, because how do you top that? But he did. Thankfully, Hangman held his own in the promo, and people won't forget that. But my God, if you're a person who loves Daniel Bryan or even is not sure about Hangman, Daniel basically said to you, I'm winning this title, and I don't give a damn about Hangman Page. And he made you believe it. And there's no reason to believe he won't kick this guy's ass. But deep down, you're saying there's no way he can lose this first match. But they somehow convinced you that this might happen. And there are people all over online saying that Bryan's going to beat him. And even my friend Adriano thinks it's going to be a short title reign. And it's like, I don't think that's happening, but they did a great job convincing you otherwise. So Bryan's basically going to go through the Dark Order until he pisses off Hangman, and then they'll have the match. This was the highlight of Dynamite. This was amazing from Bryan Danielson. Just 10 stars. Like, he was great. I don't even know where to go from this, guys, because this was just so good. But there's this show actually continued to deliver.
This is attitude. This is Attitude Era at its finest. This is Attitude Era. Like,
we go to,
my God.
If you thought this was the end, that I've overstated this. We go to MJF now. This a promo after his win, which they've done on WWE. WWE actually does this a lot. And he does this great promo about his win. Tells everyone how great he is. Tells everyone he beat Darby with a headlock takeover. Called himself the best in the world. Says he deserved the title shot. Basically, promoted himself in the best way possible and reestablished himself as the current top heel. And it was perfect timing too, because it was right after Bryan's heel turn. So you keep that sort of simmering there. It's like, no, I'm still the top dog, even though Bryan just stole the show, basically. Perfect timing. And it set up the angle later on in the show. So we'll leave that simmering for now.
Yeah, he's kind of said, now you guys got to, I'm the best in the world. There's nobody out there better than me.
Right after Bryan basically made himself the best in the world, and they showed the champ. Perfect.
Exactly.
Right.
And so a little tease.
Yeah.
So
great timing, like perfect timing on the show. So this was great. Now we get to a disappointing start in the show. A point in the show for me. Eddie Kingston's in the back. He gets interrupted again, which is his gimmick now. And he gets interrupted by Daniel Garcia. Now, listen, I like Daniel Garcia. I think he's a cool little young character. He's got a big mouth. He's cocky. A good opponent for Eddie Kingston on most terms. But when you just get off a fight with CM Punk that you lose pretty significantly and you go to Daniel Garcia, I'm very disappointed for Eddie Kingston. What do you think about this, Tony? It's a big go. It's a big drop down.
But you know what?
Yes, like no rematch. Okay. Punk later on moves on. It's a disappointment for him.
Yes and no, because it's building Eddie Kingston back up again.
Yeah.
Trust me, I feel sorry for this kid.
Oh my God, Daniel Garcia next week on Dynamite. Oh my Lord.
Oh no, they're saving it for Rampage.
Is it Rampage? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're saving it for Rampage.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for this kid. Trust me, Eddie Kingston's gonna come back up. He's just gonna beat up everybody. He's gonna be like what Moxley's been doing, just beat the shit out of people and walk and just leave.
So
that's what he's gonna be doing. It's just building Eddie Kingston back up.
Basically, Eddie says, screw it, we'll fight whenever you want, and they set it up on Rampage. The 2.0s with them. Eddie does such a great line here. Like, we had back to back great promos here. He basically says, to Tony Schiavone, can I do one promo where someone doesn't interrupt me? Looks at the camera and says to Tony, I'm going to catering. A perfect little line to sow the seeds from Punk talking about his eating problems and the fact that he's fat. And it's like, I'm going to catering. It's like a little perfect little line to like remind people that he likes to eat. I just thought that was great. That
was funny. I started laughing.
Yeah, I laughed. I laughed big time. I'm not going to talk too much about this next match. So I'm going to let Tony do the talking because he likes these guys coming in and this style of match. Butcher and Blade versus Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii. I don't want to forget the extra E there at the end. I'm going to say two things, and I'm going to pass it over to Tony Barbosa. Orange Cassidy is still over, but he needs a character change. I think he needs more depth in his character. He can still be the character that he is, but he needs a little more depth. He needs something else to add to the character. Tony, that's all I have to say about this. I'll let you take over from here.
Okay. Tomorrow Ishii. This guy, if you haven't seen, like he's from New Japan. If you guys haven't seen New Japan, obviously the reason why he was teaming with Orange Cassidy is because he's part of Chaos, which the best friends now are part of Chaos. Oh my God. The elbow strikes. Oh, so brutal. Okay, guys, that's Japanese style wrestling. It's basically like it's in MMA inspired. So it's a lot of stiff shots, a lot of elbows, a lot of kicks. This is strong style.
It's a brawl, basically.
This guy Ishii is just a pure badass. He's just like, even when Butcher tried to even when in the ring, and he tried to put him down with some heavy shots, and he couldn't. And then Ishii just went boom, just give him an elbow and knocked him out. It was such a great match.
Ishii looked like a crazy man.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. He looks like a crazy guy. Just walking to the ring, just like his demeanor is just like his attitude. It's just so badass. Obviously, then you had your Orange Cassidy spots, this and that, but then is Ishii's finisher, Brainbuster. Yep. Oh, so deadly. It looked so vicious, and it was the blade. So he got the blade up, gave him the Brainbuster, and it was such a crazy ass Brainbuster.
Yeah.
And then you had Orange Cassidy on the floor like he got shot.
Yes. And they raised his hands like 2 times out as he was dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then he gave him the respect to Ishii, and that's it. And then they walked out, and it was just to introduce Ishii. I guess they're gonna be doing this with members of Chaos.
Yes.
There's quite a few members of Chaos. There's about, I want to say, 8-10 members of Chaos that are in that faction, but they don't use, like in Japan, they're a bit different the way they use even though you're in a faction, but they kind of spread off, kind of like the Inner Circle kind of does when they're not together.
Right.
That's how New Japan uses their factions.
Right.
So, but we'll start to see that eventually. We will get Okada, because they keep mentioning Okada quite a bit on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Guys, and when you see Okada, some people might know him because he did wrestle in the States. He did wrestle on Impact when he was young.
He fought Omega a bunch of times too.
Yeah, well, 5-star, 6-star matches.
Some of the best matches you'll ever see. Yeah.
But when he was a young, because in Japan they call him young boys. When he was a young boy, they send him all over the world, to Mexico, to the States. They'll send them to Australia. They'll send them to England. Okada got sent to Impact. I believe he was X Division champion at one time.
Right.
But when he went back to New Japan, that's when he became a superstar. And now, can't wait. Can't wait to see Okada back. You can't wait to see Okada in AEW.
Another note from this match, the Butcher tore his bicep and will be out for 3 to 4 months.
He tore his bicep in this match?
Yes, there was a point in the match where he tried to punch or forearm Ishii and went down, and that's when Butcher took the pin instead of Blade took the pin instead of Blade. Then you just saw Butcher down, and I looked like something was wrong. The doctor was out, and then I found out after that he tore his bicep. Wow. He'll miss 3 to 4 months, which
he was out already.
I know he misses a lot of time with injuries. So we'll see what they do with Blade. Looks like he's going to go solo again and continue his gimmick of using the brass knucks. But this was just a brawl match in the middle of the card to help keep Orange Cassidy in the picture. But as I said, he needs more depth in his character, but we'll see what they do with that. To an Andrade FTR promo, I like Andrade's improvement with his English and on the mic. He says, "You may have won, but now I'm going to show you my bad side," which I just laughed listening to that. Then they announced the match, an 8-man tag, FTR, Andrade, and Black versus Cody, Pac, and Lucha Brothers. Tully just knocks it out of the park here, saying, You want to stick your nose in, Arn? I
I
got
got
one
one
more
more.
in me, which pretty much means they're going to have blows during that match.
Something's gonna
And
happen.
then FTR and Andrade basically says they've got
He's got
cojones.
huevos.
He's got
He's
huevos,
got, yeah,
balls.
he's
So
got huevos.
that was very, very funny.
Yes.
Good promo. Then we see so that was great. Then we see Ty Conte doing a great promo after losing. She is another person improving her English and sounding great in these backstage interviews. They
And she
don't
said
want
she
you to
didn't
forget.
win.
Yeah, they don't want you to forget about her. The fact that she lost, which I find interesting.
Well, and she said, she goes, I didn't lose. I still
One
what
because
she's
of the
yeah,
performance I put in.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Exactly.
like that they gave her a promo afterwards so that you wouldn't forget about her. Meaning the company's still high on her, so don't forget that
Yeah.
she's sticking around, basically at the top of the card. Um, Later on, we'll discuss another superstar they did that with, but we'll get to that. DMD then does a promo pushing Jamie Hayter, another
Yeah.
a new person in the company. She's taking on Thunder Rosa in the tournament. Thunder Rosa is going to win this match, but the Britt basically did a job
Nope.
saying, that
I don't think Thunder Rosa is gonna win the match.
okay, we'll see. But to me, it's not going to be Jade Cargill against Jamie Hayter. It's going to be Jade Cargill against Thunder Rosa. And the reason why it's going to be Jade Cargill against Thunder Rosa is because Jade Cargill pinned Thunder Rosa in that match where she was supposed to become the number one contender. And they're going to use that to push that match in the semifinals. Hayter will not win this match. That's my prediction. But basically, Britt spent the promo convincing people that Hayter can win, which means she's not going to win. I said it before, much earlier. Even though I don't agree with the decision, Jade Cargill is going to win this tournament. They are pushing her clearly as the number one woman of this tournament, and it's almost a lock she's going to win this tournament. Even though I disagree with her winning, especially later on in the card when we see more results. There's no one else that's going to win this tournament. I think it's pretty obvious. Speaking of the tournament, Nyla versus Shida. Tony was partially right about what was going to happen in this match. Shida comes out, gets a "Let's Go Shida" chant. That was nice. Nyla Rose got some chants as well, which I found very interesting. Not 100% support for Shida. Good note by Excalibur stating that Nyla has never beaten Shida in a match, which pretty much set up the finish. So it unfortunately gave away what was going to happen. There was a "Shut Up Vicky" chant because she was screaming outside the ring the whole match, which I found funny.
Yeah.
Yes, yelling the whole match. Yes, I now agree with my wife that she is annoying. There was a time before where I actually liked it. Now she's kind of annoying and I don't want to listen to her. But she got her comeuppance at the end when Shida took a kendo stick and nailed her in the back, which was great. Now we get to the part where me and Tony are going to argue. So they had Shida beat Serena Deeb for her 50th win. It was a 50-50 booking, probably the first time I've seen 50-50 booking in AEW. I did not like it. The same thing happened with Cody when he beat Malachi Black in their third match. So Shida comes out from the crowd, and I think she nails Shida in the knee to further establish that she beat her up in her knee in the prior week. And she has a great smile on her face after she does it, looking like a real great heel, which pretty much sets up the finish of, after Shida had a big flurry of moves trying to finish the match quickly because she knew she was hurt. Nyla hits her with the top rope knee in the back of the neck, tries a jumping planche off the top, misses. Shida tries to turn it into an arm bar, power bomb by Nyla Rose, and then the stretch muffler by Nyla on the bad knee for a quick tap out. This just means there'll be a third match between Serena Deeb and Shida. I have zero problem with that, but I don't know if that helps either of them in the future. Tony, what do you think?
Yes. The only reason I'm saying it'll help somebody ish if okay. This is where
Serena Deeb has to win this match.
Yeah, exactly. This is where you're gonna have to establish Serena Deeb. She has to win this match.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think she's due for one of the titles down the line. Which one I don't know, but she will be due for one of the titles. So her going through Shida is fine by me. Obviously, she's gonna have to go through other people before getting to the titles. Mm-hmm. But it has to make sense. To make sense in this feud is Serena Deeb winning.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So and hopefully cleanly. Hopefully not, some sort of controversy. Hopefully cleanly.
She'll probably cheat to win, like do something bad.
Whatever.
Knee, hit her with a chair or something.
Cleanly, what I'm saying cleanly, I'm talking about not like a low blow, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just because her gimmick, the professor of professional the wrestling, the woman of 1,000 holds, so stuff like that. Like her gimmick now, I like her gimmick. So where it's going, it makes sense for her. Because obviously she's a veteran, she's been around.
Yeah,
she's I shouldn't say she's like Bryan, but she can beat you in many ways.
Yes. They need to establish her.
Yeah, they need to establish. And Shida is a former AEW champion. Why not? So that's the perfect opponent. So I'm happy with this where it's going.
Yep. Nyla Rose wins and moves on to face the winner of Chris Statlander and
Ruby Soho.
Which either person could win, but I would expect that Ruby Soho will win that match. And I believe she will end up facing Jade in the final, but we'll see. It could be Chris Statlander, but I think they're going to want to establish Ruby Soho. And I think she's the most believable person to possibly win the final over Jade. So I think it will be Ruby, and they haven't faced each other yet. So that's where it's headed, in my opinion. Then we get to we'll get to first. We're going to talk Malachi Black. Malachi Black does another great promo in the back.
Yes.
I don't know where he's going with this character, but he's trying to be a mysterious. You don't know where I'm going, but I'm dangerous, even though I lost my last match. And he's trying to establish himself as a mythical character. And he's doing a great job on the mic. Now it just has to establish himself in the ring with that. A guy who's very, very difficult to beat. And he has to do that after the Cody loss. So I think he's trying to get over with his words now. So we'll see where it goes.
That's why I'm kind of iffy on this 8-man tag that he's involved. I don't think he should have been involved with this. I think he should venture off and obviously,
unless the House of Black is going to happen. If the House of Black is going to happen, they have to win, and then they have to like embrace in the ring, or like that last match that they had, the tag match where they were fighting about pins, that didn't establish anything. It established them as two individuals. So
I have a feeling we might start to see the House of Black after this match.
Yeah, it has to,
or happen. Even during the match.
Yeah,
and I think it might be.
Maybe a new member comes and helps them win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, I have a feeling it's going to be somebody from the Rhodes family, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So good promo.
But great promo. Just unbelievable. He's saying that how he's going to suck the oxygen out of
good.
Death Triangle and Cody. It's just like, oh my God, so amazing.
Yeah. Very good. Very good promo. Guys, this is a promo exhibition tonight. And when you give wrestlers the freedom to speak and be their own characters, this is what you get. Miro is a perfect example of that, how great his promos have been since they let him be himself. And there's so many more. Speaking of incredible promos, MJF. Now, as much as I like the Bryan segment, am I going to look good in this one? Because I called this, and Tony, you can attest to this. I called this a month ago.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And when it happened, I immediately texted Tony, and he couldn't believe it and was not watching. I said, Tony, get your
No,
ass on the TV and watch this.
I had a ball hockey game that night, so I
Okay,
didn't
so
watch it.
Tony was
But
busy,
I
but I'm
watched
like,
it
you
after.
go and find this and watch it because this was perfectly done and sets up a long, what I hope will be a very long rivalry and a very long feud, unlike the one we just saw. But let's get to it. MJF comes out. Interesting. He gives Sean Spears the mic and basically says Sean Spears says there's no one at his level that he would like to speak now. He says, I tried. They're still booing you. MJF takes the mic, says no one's at his level. No one one-on-one on the mic. Anyone is at his level. And I knew, and I wanted to text Tony so bad before it happened because I knew who was coming out the minute he said that. Because there's only one person that can claim he was at MJF's level that young. And it's the man who came out to the ring. Immediately, you hear Cult of Personality. The crowd goes, oh, and CM Punk saunters out to the ring. All of a sudden, now he's getting cheered. He's not a heel anymore because the Eddie Kingston feud's in the back burner. As sad as I am about that, I am as excited to see what's going to happen here. And just when I think they're going to go at it, CM Punk delivers another masterpiece of psychology by getting in the ring and basically looking at
just as a stare. This is the crowd. Like they stared at each other before they can even say one word, and the crowd just started chanting, "Holy shit!"
Yep.
Holy
shit chant right away. They didn't have to say a word, guys. Just the two of them in the same ring, and everyone in that crowd knew what was coming. And so Maxwell does his normal thing, puts his hand out, and CM Punk just looks at him and like, goes, kid, you know who I am. I'm not shaking your damn hand. I'm CM Punk. I'm above you. I'm the person who's you at an older age. I'm the one who's at your level or above. Smiles, shakes his head, and walks out, just teasing you and making it bubble and making every single person watching at home or watching in that ring wonder what's going to happen next. Another masterpiece by Tony Khan and by CM Punk. Don't give it away too early. Let it simmer for weeks and weeks. Add a little bit more weeks and weeks, and then when the match actually happens, you can't wait to see it.
No.
This is what we wanted out of the Kingston match, but we're gonna get it out of the MJF match.
It's gonna piss MJF more because you didn't acknowledge him, which is like, oh my god, so good.
Perfect. And if you really think about it, CM Punk is that guy that can claim he's better than the MJF. He's had titles
on the mic,
right?
He's
better on the mic. He's sold out arenas. He was the top guy in the top company for a year. This is the one guy MJF can't lay over like a Darby Allin or like a Jungle Boy. This is a totally different level. So now we're going to see what MJF can do because he can't overtalk CM Punk. He can't downgrade CM Punk like he did it with Jericho very well. I just don't know. We'll see what he does. It's going to be different than the Jericho feud. But I like that they said nothing and just left it there for everyone to wonder what's going to happen. Perfect. Holy shit chant, as Tony said. But this was perfect. That was the end of it. Nothing was said. You just know it's going to happen. You just don't know when. And there's just going to be teases for the next few weeks.
For the next little bit, yeah.
Maybe it'll happen at Winter is Coming, December 15th. Maybe it'll happen on the February pay-per-view. But I think they're going to tease this for a while, and they're going to be taking shots at each other. And who knows how long it'll go, but it's going to be a while. And I can't wait for the promos back and forth. It's going to be amazing. Great tease. That's all for now. But we'll be talking about this a lot. This is what I've been waiting for.
This is what I've been waiting for from CM Punk.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. This is going to be the feud.
The character that we've all fell in love with. So it's coming, and I think it'll keep him a face, especially against MJF.
Yeah, of course.
Now we get to another disappointment for me. Darby Allin, who lost to MJF after the Dynamite ring shot and the headlock takeover. He basically got embarrassed by MJF. He got the Eddie tribute on Darby Allin on Full Gear. And I'm like, wow, Darby lost again on a major pay-per-view. He lost to MJF and he lost to CM Punk, and now they're facing each other. What do they do with Darby Allin? So he goes in the back, he starts to talk, And then Billy Gunn interrupts him, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be killing me. Billy Gunn, the oldest man in the company, hasn't been seen on TV for months. They're kind of undefeated on Dark. And he comes in and Darby Allin just says, screw it, we'll take you on. Very disappointed in Darby Allin. This is lower than Daniel Garcia, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know. What
do they do with Darby Allin now?
I don't know what they do. We'll save that for Rampage.
Yeah,
we'll save that for Rampage because they set up the match between Billy Gunn and MJF at Rampage. So
I just wrote WTF. I just wrote WTF.
I don't know.
So disappointing. Tough to see where they go with Darby Allin after this because there's not a lot of places they can go with him, especially to get his confidence back up, even though this is going to be tough now because he lost 2 times in a row. And, there's only so many times a babyface can lose and still be over. So we'll see where they go with this. I wouldn't be shocked if he takes on Miro at some point again. But yeah, Miro's lost 2 in a row and Darby's lost 2 in a row. Might not be the best matchup.
You don't want to do that.
Maybe we'll see him and Sammy at some point. But they've got to build him back up first. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
Super Click, Fish and Cole versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy challenge.
Set up for Rampage.
That's what happened next. I didn't have anything of note on the promo.
Well, the only thing that it noted, it was obviously the Super Click did the promo was Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Yeah. And basically saying the Young Bucks were basically saying, oh, Jungle Boy embarrassed them. Yeah. And Matt Jackson
tried to end their careers.
And they couldn't wrestle. Yeah. So Adam Cole brought in Bobby Fish. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that.
Yeah. Lio Rush and Dante Martin versus the Acclaimed. It's time for our weekly wrap review of the Acclaimed. I wrote down 2 lines this time. This one wasn't as good as the others, but I did like 2 of the lines. Dante's fighting the Acclaimed again. He's got more partners than P. Davidson. I like that line because Mr. Davidson has had quite a few partners in his life, and I don't know why.
And the latest one being Kim K.
Yes, unbelievable. That guy, I gotta read his book or something. Leo, you're an amateur, and I think you're better off as a manager. That line made me laugh, and even Lio Rush was laughing in the ring.
Yeah, he kind of got a kick out of it.
So very good.
Got a kick out of that one.
Then when he did his last line, Leo's like, okay, you got 3 out of 4, but the 4th one wasn't as good, which was funny. Yeah. So right away after the wrap, Leo and Dante just give him planches through the second rope, just knock him out of the ring. So that was good. The hot tag to Leo was insane here. Dante got beat up for a while. He was isolated for quite a while. Then Leo just does this hot tag, goes crazy on the Acclaim. There was a Leo chant. They wanted him to be a heel. There is zero chance Lio Rush is going to be a heel with that style. Zero.
His moveset, his style is
no chance.
There's no way he can be a heel. He has to be a face. And he's so quick. And I think him and Dante Martin can actually be a good team because their style is kind of similar, quick, and
And to Tony Khan's credit, they realized their mistake and have made them faces, as you'll see at the end of this match. Lio Rush with a crazy frog splash for the win. Another Eddie tribute after a couple of moves set up.
Well, that's his finish.
It is his finish, but it was nice to see a frog splash.
Yeah, exactly.
This was all to set up Team Taz coming out, who have been teasing signing Dante to a contract for weeks. They told everyone that it was the 1-year anniversary of Powerhouse Hobbs being in the team.
And look how he is,
But I didn't like this part because Ricky Starks basically says, "Look how much success he has," and I'm thinking to myself, "What success has he had?"
I know.
So I don't know if that was on purpose a line thrown in there, but if I'm Dante Martin, I'm like, "What's Powerhouse Hobbs done? Why would I join you?" My whole thing here is I didn't realize this because I was asking, why isn't Ricky Starks being in matches? Why is it being pushed? He's still hurt, guys. Apparently his neck is still messed up, so he can't work. That's why he's become the mouthpiece instead of Taz. So they're basically looking to recruit Dante, and they left it at that tease of whether or not he'll sign. We'll see where it goes. I think they're in a holding pattern right now until they can make it legit that they can fight the Lucha Brothers for the tag titles. And my God, when we see Lio Rush and Dante Martin versus the Lucha Brothers, that will be a match worth spending your time on, let me tell you. Just what the Lucha Brothers need. And unfortunately, the Lucha Brothers are going to keep fighting FTR until they get real opponents, and they just don't have them right now. So they're trying to establish other teams so they can give opponents to the Lucha Brothers. Lio Rush and Dante Martin, that's a candidacy. And I think they got to do something with Pride and Powerful for the tag titles. So we'll see what happens there. So then we get the greatest promo of Jungle Boy's life after this. Again, this is a promo show, guys. And even Jungle Boy stepped up his game. And I'll tell you this, listening to his promo, he's 100% working with Christian Cage on his promos, because he sounded like Christian Cage. He sounded convincing like Christian Cage. This was a Christian Cage promo spoken by Jungle Boy. I didn't write down what he said, but what he did say sounded convincing and sounded like a legit person talking on the mic.
Well, the one line I did catch, just because it was kind of funny. Just because I got rid of the scruffle doesn't mean I've changed back to the old ways. I'm still gonna be that same character from Full Gear, which is like basically saying he's got a bit of a backbone now.
And they took the chair and they showed you the chair, which was good as well to make it establish that he's a badass. Very good promo from Jungle Boy. Boy, if he can get confidence on the mic, that's the last step for him to become a superstar, because he still has the most wins in the company. So they're just keeping him under the surface for now. And it sounds like they're really, I think they're starting to put their stock in him again. I think he's going to be, I think 2022 is going to be the year of Jungle Boy. Yeah, I think he's right on the edge getting there. Okay.
Yeah.
We had a Jade Red Velvet preview.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't write that.
We had a Lucha Brothers promo. Very nice. I like Alex on the mic. He's great. Ray Phoenix improving his English sounded great. Now we get to the Tony segment of the show. Jay Macho Man Lethal versus Sammy Guevara. I love Jay Lethal's entrance. I love his music. It's great. It reminds me of the Macho Man. This is my first viewing of Jay Lethal, guys. I did not watch Jay Lethal on the Indies. I did not watch him in TNA. I've never seen him wrestle, so this was great for me. And Jay Lethal did not disappoint.
I'm gonna ask you, how did you enjoy? Remember, I said there was the comparison I said about him in the ring. He's up there with the likes of CM Punk and Bryan Danielson.
I'm not going to go that far yet. But I liked what I saw.
It wasn't, because it kind of, if they give him proper time on a pay-per-view, where you give him, a lengthier time, then you're gonna get to see. Like, it was a TV match. TV match. Both guys.
I like what I saw, but no, I'm not willing to go that far yet. To put him in that category, but this is a good match. So Sammy Guevara started with a jumping plancha over the top rope. They noted that Sammy Guevara had taped ribs, and they did a spot here where he was down on the outside for like 2 minutes. Like he was legit hurt. Like even they had the doctors there and everything. So they sold it good, but he continued in the match, and it didn't seem like it was legit. So we'll see where that goes. Sammy then did after staying on the outside for 2 minutes, he tries to do a swanton off the top rope into a table, misses, which would destroy anybody's ribs and back. And then a fight forever chance. Yes, Jay Lethal goes. Yes, Jay Lethal goes to work. Yes,
starts working on the ribs. Just pinpoints the ribs. Just keeps working. This is what I mean. Like, psychology wise, is like, he's so good.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sammy
got the GTH for the win after this. I noted, I don't know if you caught this, Tony, but they showed Tony Nese in the crowd right after the match.
Yes.
So that was
they even before the match they showed him, not before the, like in between the entrances
right.
and the match starting, they showed him in the crowd. So I guess they might.
So I think they're teasing that for the next match, right?
Yeah, with Sammy Guevara. And then you had the Inner Circle come out.
Yeah, so the Inner Circle comes out. It was interesting because I don't know if Jay Lethal necessarily was going to shake hands, and then the whole Inner Circle's there, and basically they shook hands.
And they all
raised his hand. I wonder if he's going to join the Inner Circle.
See, I thought so too.
Yeah,
because it was funny because we didn't see Jake Hager come out.
Right.
Everybody else, Jericho and Bright and Powerful come out, but Jake Hager didn't come out. So I don't know what.
So they did the handshake, and it was cool, but Jay Lethal, I could see him joining a group just to establish himself, because when you have a title match in your first match and you lose, you have to sort of establish yourself after that. Bobby Fish has lost a lot, but is now joining a group to sort of get his character back. I think they might do that with Jay Lethal as well, but we'll see. The match was fine. I had no problem with the match, but no, I would not put him at that level yet. But he hasn't had a pay-per-view match yet, so we'll see when he has a big pay-per-view match. But I was impressed. He looks great in the ring. So that was Dynamite, guys. Sammy Guevara retains. This was a promo wrestling psychology clinic. This show will be remembered for great promos and for great setups of future feuds, and some pretty good wrestling, and a masterpiece from Daniel Bryan in the opening segment. This was the Daniel Bryan show, or the Bryan Danielson show, because that's all I'll remember this for, other than the MJF segment, setting up CM Punk and MJF, and then of course the match after with Bryan, and then the MJF stuff. But this was the Daniel Bryan show. He was absolutely excellent on this show and perfectly established himself as a legit threat to not only Hangman Page but the entire Dark Order, and basically is going to destroy his entire family before he gets to Hangman. This was a perfect heel turn and a great psychology masterpiece from Daniel Bryan from start to finish. So I look forward to what he's going to do to all the Dark Order members. It is going to be fun to watch. He's not a heel to me destroying the Dark Order. I'll tell you that. I'm going to be cheering every time he hits one of them. I'm going to be cheering.
For you, he's not the heel.
No,
he's a heel.
To everybody else, he is, but not to me.
And if you caught it, JR automatically said, "Oh, Bryan Danielson is going to win the title."
Yes.
JR came out and even said that.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
They're treating Hangman's title reign similar to what Bryan Danielson's title reign in WWE when he won it the first time at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's what they're treating it, like an underdog that everybody that he faces should beat him. And then he finds a way to beat their opponents. So that's what it sounds like how they're gonna book it with especially with this feud.
Okay, so we were gonna cut for Rampage, but I think we have enough time where we can get into Rampage, because I don't think there was too much to note from the show, Tony. So we'll go right into Rampage, and we'll just talk about Rampage quickly. To start off the show, we have Darby Allin versus Billy Gunn. To me, this match was Billy Gunn standing tall and looking big, and Darby Allin bouncing all over the ring, including bumping for himself. So that, to me, that's what this match was. Darby Allin hit the he tried to do the crazy throw dive through the second rope, and Billy Gunn just stepped out of the way, and Darby crashed and burned. But then he hit the coffin drop later on after Billy Gunn hit a bunch of shots and stared down at him because he's the bigger man. The first one, Billy Gunn didn't take properly and looked like he was trying to lift him off the ground after he hit it. Then he hit a second one, and Billy Gunn took it properly and got the pin. This was a bad match and was not a good idea for Darby Allin after losing to MJF the way he did. I have no idea where they go with Darby Allin after this, but this was
it looks like they're gonna have a little tag match even with Sting, because after the match they had Darby Allin and Sting.
Yeah, because Sting then came out and they gave him a chop block, and for the first time ever, Sting didn't not sell it and took a few hard shots from Billy Gunn, and they left him laying in the ring. So
yeah,
it looks like a tag with Sting with the Gun Club, and what a drop down for Darby Allin. They got to be very careful with him and his character that they don't go too far, especially with Sting there, too far below the main card. But man, I don't know where they go with him after, eventually you got to stop tagging with Sting and you got to go out on your own and show yourself as a major threat. But it looks like the focus is on Jungle Boy and others right now. So we'll see. Maybe Darby drops down a little bit. He's still over, but maybe he just has, lower card matches for now. There was a recap of the Inner Circle beating Men of the Year.
No, you had a QT Marshall promo.
Oh yeah, QT Marshall.
Because he's facing CM Punk on Dynamite.
Why? Why?
It's just
they needed to have CM Punk wrestle on Dynamite.
And it's just going to be a squash
MJF,
match.
and it's going to be a squash match.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's all it's going
whatever.
to be.
And then you have obviously the Inner Circle recap of what happened at Full Gear. Then the Men of the Year cut a promo.
Yes, and a very good promo. Again, they need to get a push, these guys, and I hope they do. Because they lost this match, but a very good promo stating you beat a guy who wasn't supposed to be in the match. You beat our manager. You didn't beat us. Very good. So we'll see where that goes, but very, very good promo to establish that they didn't lose. Yeah,
and they said, and they gave Dan Lambert all the credit in the world for even stepping in the match, this and that. So it was a pretty good promo.
Very good.
Keep everybody over. Yeah.
Yes. So very, very good. Good way to, when you lose, that's how you still establish yourself as still badass.
Yeah.
Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill.
Sorry, didn't write much.
I had no interest. I know there are some people who are into Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. I have no interest in either of these two. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think either's very good in the ring. I think they're both very green. Nice series of counters at the start. Standing throwaway slam. Honestly, I don't remember much about this match other than Jade Cargill won with the Glam Slam, as I will call it. They call it something else, but it's the Glam Slam. She doesn't hit it with conviction because she's afraid to hurt the girl, so it doesn't look as dangerous as when Beth Phoenix did it. There was a rock bottom from Jade as well. Pretty nasty moves, but very green wrestling.
But to be fair, for Red Velvet, anybody that gets
she's got fire.
With Jade Cargill, but everybody that gets in the ring with Jade Cargill looks green.
Yeah, Red Velvet did deliver a nasty spear on the floor, which I liked. And Velvet has some spunk in her, but she's
had some matches with Britt Baker, and she's had pretty good matches with Britt Baker. So she's not that bad. I wouldn't say she's that bad.
Jade Cargill hits the jaded, for
whatever
the win, and she will go on to face our friend who just won on Dynamite. Who's she fighting? I can't even remember now. Oh, she's going to fight the winner of Rose and
Thunder Rosa and Jamie
Hayter next week on I believe it's on Rampage next week. So we'll see. It's going to be in my opinion it will be Rosa against Jade Cargill in a rematch from the match that Cargill pinned Rosa in about a month ago. Sorry guys, I like some of the women on this show. This is not two of them. 11 minutes they went. That was a long match.
Thunder Rosa promo.
Thunder Rosa promo. She's excellent, guys. I mean, she's a future world champion. I still think she'll be the person who beats Britt Baker. There's nobody else.
See, this is why this is where I was telling you. That's why I think she's gonna lose the match.
Oh, she's gonna lose the match. Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Jade Cargill.
No, No, she's gonna lose the match to Jamie Hayter. I'll tell you why. It makes perfect sense.
You know what? I know where you're going with this, and you're probably
Yeah.
right. Go ahead. I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Britt Baker's gonna cost her the match.
Right. And that sets
And
up
then you're gonna
their
set
match. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And yeah, I see where you're going with this. I just don't I don't see a Hayter versus Cargill match. But yes, I can understand where you're going. What I think is going to happen is that Britt's going to try to cost her the match, but Rosa wins anyway. That's what I think. And then Rosa goes after her. Like, I think what they'll do is Rosa will win despite the interference. They'll get in the ring and kick her ass after the match to the point where she'll be compromised, which doesn't make her look bad. And then Cargill wins because Rosa's compromised.
No, or they'll beat her up. There'll be some sort of spot, whatever, that she won't be able to compete in the match against Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill goes directly to the finals. Yeah. Okay, that works too. That's what I
think is going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you may be right.
Yeah. So,
but something's going to happen that her and Britt, you're gonna start to, because it kind of started a couple weeks ago, right? When she made when they were the 3-on-2. When they were beating up Anna Jay and Ty Conti, and then she came for the save. So it kind of planted little seeds there already. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah.
Yep. Recap of I believe the recap of Danielson and Hangman Page was after this. Is that correct?
I think so.
And then they also talked.
And then they had a CM Punk, promo.
Yeah, the CM Punk promo to go ahead and bring up his bad attitude and
talking about QT Marshall, tell him to bring Anthony Ogogo.
And we'll find out who the real turkey is, because it's a Thanksgiving special, which was a funny line from CM Punk. CM Punk is getting really, really good, guys. Like, we're getting the real CM Punk now. So they also announced that Friday Eddie Kingston will face Daniel Garcia. And then Winter is Coming is promoted for December 15th, which is kind of a special show in between pay-per-views. So we'll probably get some significant matches on there. I believe that's the debut of TBS as well. I think that's the debut.
I'm not sure.
Not 100% sure.
No, TBS is the new year.
Right, the new year. Okay, so that will likely be a special show, though, where they put some good matches. So we'll see some matches there. The next part was the best Mark Henry interview before a match I've seen for a main event. The pre-match words were excellent. Both promos were good. Cole and Jungle Boy looked angry at each other. They cut legit, honest promos. And then we got the match going. This was the best one I've seen before the match by Mark Henry. So that was good. Adam Cole and Bobby Fish versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I just wrote down that Bobby Fish is clearly trying to infiltrate the Super Click and get Adam Cole away from the Super Click. But I found it strange that Adam Cole left the ring and allowed Bobby Fish to be put in the snare trap.
But it just makes the perfect sense, though.
Yeah.
Him doing that. And Bobby Fish thought, "Oh, you left me hanging." There's many ways where it can go. But it's all about putting Jungle Boy over. This is what it's been all about.
Yeah, Jungle Boy's getting the push now. Yeah, 100%.
And it seems like we're gonna get a Jungle Boy Adam Cole feud going. And hopefully Jungle Boy does go over this time, because Adam Cole they had a match where didn't they have a match and Adam Cole beat him?
Yes. Yes. Okay. It might have been a tag match, but yes, he did beat Jungle Boy. Yes.
So let's hope we get that. And I don't think it'll hurt Adam Cole if Jungle Boy does go over.
This match was definitely there to showcase Jungle Boy, 100%. Luchasaurus did his stuff, but this was to showcase Jungle Boy. They're clearly trying to push him and make you realize that we're going with him. I think that it won't be for the world title. It will likely be him and Sammy at some point, and I think he's going to get the TNT title. But it won't be. It won't be too soon. Like, they're going to get him in tags, and they're going to let him finish off his feuds with Adam Cole, and then I think we're going to see him and Sammy at some point.
That would be very interesting. I kind of and they can play up the whole MJF pillar situation and the commentating, right?
Yeah.
How they're the other two members of the pillars. They can kind of play off of that too. It would be nice to play off of that. So they got many ways to go.
I just wrote down that Jungle Boy and Adam Cole have amazing chemistry.
Yeah,
and they really do. We saw the jumping arm drags from Jungle Boy throughout the match, and that was good. I honestly believe that Jungle Boy is going to go for the TNT title. They're pushing him towards that. Not yet, but it's going to happen. It might even happen on Winter is Coming. I don't think he'll take the title, but yes, I think they're saving.
No, I think they'll save Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. I think they'll save for Winter's Coming.
Right, there'll be a bunch of tags before then.
Yeah.
So that was Rampage, guys. Not too much to talk about.
No.
Dynamite was the main show this week, and Dynamite will likely be the main show again this week, especially since it's in Chicago. It's going to be a very hot crowd, and CM Punk is probably going to destroy QT Marshall and cut an amazing promo on MJF, which is going to get this crowd into a frenzy. And MJF's going to come out and get booed out of the building, and that is really going to set up a hot angle between the two of them. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, and obviously you got Cole Cabana and
Bryan is going to get booed. No matter what happens, he's going to get booed when he kicks.
Because Cole Cabana will get cheered. Yeah.
He'll deliver some elbows and get cheered, but Bryan will eventually kick his butt. Yes. So should be a very hot crowd and a very interesting show on Wednesday. And we will be here to cover it, and we look forward to watching it. So we thank you very much for watching our review, guys, and listening to us. We'd like you to subscribe, like, and or let us know what you think on the show. If anyone wants to join us or give us their opinion, please let us know. We post this on pages to get your opinion, to get your thoughts. Please give us a watch and a like and subscribe. Share this with other people that you know. And then we would love to have someone else on the show to give us a different opinion on the show.
Yeah.
But for now, it'll just be me and Tony back here next week covering Rampage and Dynamite. And until then, I'm the Mouth of North, AndrEW. This is Tony Barbosa. We will see you on the next Reese Report.